Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Just a quick update because a lot has happened and nothing has happened. So to give you an idea, the CBR 600 Street Fighter, maybe you've seen part 4. To make part 5 I was waiting to get the battery. So everything is ready to start the bike up. It's got fresh oil in it, it's all wired up. I just need a battery so I can try to start it up and see what happens. It's been standing still for a few years, it's been completely apart, it's been completely put back together, so I don't know what's gonna happen, but we'll see. The battery is ordered, the battery is delivered at my friend's house, but I didn't get the battery yet, so just a little more patience. I'm guessing within a few weeks, maybe a month, the battery will arrive here and then we'll be ready to start it up and see what happens. The Superlight, the Ducati Superlight 559 is actually 99.5% ready. We got the fuel tank repaired. There was an ugly dent in it. I'm gonna put a photo up here of the dent. We took it to a body shop, they repainted it, we had to order all the decals and all the stickers, which was not all that easy. Ducati actually still supplies 3 of the 4 stickers, so the 2 side stickers that say Ducati and the little one above the fuel tank that says Made in Italy are still, you can still purchase from Ducati, but there's another one that says Agip. It's a nice sticker, but Ducati don't sell them anymore, so I had to find another supplier. I found one in the Netherlands, once we got all the stickers, we took it to the body shop, they filled in the dent. They repainted it, they scanned the color because Ducati doesn't use color codes. I'm guessing that would be too easy. But anyway, they matched the color, they got everything ready. And when my friend went to pick it up, he noticed that the 2 Ducati stickers on the side were torn, they were a little bit bubbly. So we took the fuel tank back and he redid. He repaired the things that weren't correct. I had to reorder the stickers, so it took a while, but now actually the tank looks very good. Last week, Monday I think, yes, Monday evening I went to my friend's and Tuesday morning we got to pick up the fuel tank. So then we were excited. The bike, we've been working on this bike for about a year and a half now due to Corona. Normally, as we always said, it was just gonna be a quick polish and we were gonna ride with it or sell it. We didn't know yet. It was just a fun project we had in mind. So we took it completely apart, made sure it was perfect. It's actually as good as brand new as far as I'm concerned. It has the carbs have been done. It's again 72 horsepower at the rear wheel, just as it left the factory. The paint looks amazing thanks to my friend. He did a real good job of restoring the paint, polishing it all up again. Mechanically we did everything we had to. So of course we were very excited. The fuel tank was the last structural part we had to do. So we got the fuel tank, we put in the fuel filler cap, which is a fun job to do on a Ducati for everyone. Everyone who has ever done it knows it's a bit of a hassle, but we got it fixed, we got it solved. So we put the tank on the bike, we put the front fairing on it already because it was polished. We just need to polish the side fairings. So if you sit on the bike, the side fairings need to be polished, but They look in quite a good shape. There's a little bit of paint missing, but nothing really bad. So we talked about it, and my friend said it's gonna be much easier to polish everything once they're back on the bike. So that's the plan for the moment. And then Tuesday, so we were very happy. Tuesday, 4 o'clock, very happy. Everything looked fine. The bike looked like a bike, as we really expected it to be. The only thing, except for the side panels, is it needs a new set of tires. I think the tires are 10-15 years old, so it could use a new set of tires, to say the least. Anyway, I sold my half of the bike to my friend because he wanted to keep it. It actually drives really good. Some things have been happening, which I will fill in later in this video, that made me say, okay, I'll sell my half, you can keep it. And so at 4 o'clock, everything was brilliant. We were both very happy, admiring our work. My friend had to get his corona vaccine at, I don't know, 5 o'clock, 5:30, something like that. So I was there. Well, he lives about, I don't know, 130, 140 kilometers from here. So I was there with my motorcycle, with the Multistrada, the Multistrada 1200S. I put on my motorcycle gear. It was, I don't know, 25 degrees, sun was out, perfect bike weather. So I just hopped in my gear, jumped on the bike and started riding home. Unfortunately, when I was, I don't know, 10 kilometers from him, just before I got onto the highway, there's some red lights. So I was nearing the lights. There's a speed camera also, so I was checking my speed, let's say. And when I looked up, the light has gone to orange. I hit the brakes full on, and I really mean full on. And the car that was riding behind me decided not to brake as hard. I had some reactions of people who said, well, the guy in the car, the driver of the car, is an asshole and he wasn't watching where he was going and blah blah blah. It was an accident. He hit me. He hit my bike in the rear. As you can see on the photos, on the pictures, the car stood on top of my rear wheel, but once it was on the tow truck, it looked half decent. By now it's at my dealer's because it's insurance, and well, the cops came to the location because we were blocking a major crossing. There was loads of traffic. It was 5 o'clock. Well, it was around 6 o'clock when it happened. So there was loads of traffic. So the cops came there. I had to phone my insurance. I had to have the bike towed. I got home with a taxi because I didn't have any transportation at that moment. So that's where the Multistrada has gone for the moment. I'm looking at its spot in my garage, which is very empty for the moment. I've had the bike, the Multistrada 1200, for 7 years for the moment. The bike is 11 years old. It's built in 2010. So the damage is it looks quite bad at first sight. I checked the bike out afterwards when it was at my dealer. The engine runs perfectly. It doesn't throw a code. It doesn't give a warning light. Nothing. It sounds perfect. Front shocks, rear shocks, everything. The front suspension, the rear suspension, everything looks good. The wheel turns. My guess for the moment, but I have to wait until I can have a good look, is that the damage is actually not that bad. I think so what I did see is that the two bolts of the rear subframe where the saddle is mounted on or sheared off. So I think from the impact he pushed up the seat. All the plastics are broken, my taillight was broken, my license plate holder was under the car, everything plasticky on the backside, above the rear wheel is broken. But I think, as far as I can see, nothing structural has been hit. The rear suspension is okay, the swing arm looks okay, but I'm not sure. I want to have it checked out before I eventually start repairing it. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it because it's a bit difficult for the moment. I have a lot of things to consider, but as you can guess, I can't ride with it for the moment. I can't sit on it, so it's kind of hard to ride a bike. But I was already in touch with somebody else who offered me another Superlight. It's a bit of a happy coincidence, I would say. It was somebody who had seen some pictures of the process we were working on, who sent me through Messenger a message saying, I got a Superlight, I'm the first owner, it's been heavily modified, and I'm maybe thinking of selling it. What would you think it's worth? What would you think is its value? I've explained to him it's very difficult to value a bike if you haven't seen it, if you don't know the maintenance history, if you don't know if it's been ridden recently or not. It's a bit difficult, but I could give him some pointers. And I also told him, if your mind is made up and you want to sell it, let me know, because maybe I'm interested. Lucky coincidence, about a week before the Multistrada got hit, he sent me a message. Yes, I want to sell it. This is the price I'm looking for. If you're interested, you can come and see it. Well, it was about 2 weeks before the Multistrada was hit. So the week before the Multistrada was hit, it was also lovely weather, so I took the bike, I went over there, I looked at the bike, talked with a guy. It's actually an incredible story to me. The bike is 28 years old for the moment. He's still the first owner. He got all the paperwork that goes with the bike, so the original invoice. So the bike looks really, really good according to me. It's red this time. It's a Mark II. For a bike that's 28 years old, to my opinion, it looks really good. And then he started telling me what has been changed on the bike. So to give you an idea, I'm gonna, from the top of my head, tell you what has changed on the bike as far as I can remember. So to start on the front, there's a lightweight front wheel, magnesium front wheel in the bike. There's 2 carbon front fenders with the bike. There's other cast iron discs that go with the bike. There's another front fork that's in the bike, but the original front forks are also with the bike. There's another master cylinder for the front brake on the bike. It's got an extra oil cooler. Now it's become difficult because it's so much that has been changed on the bike. The crankshaft has been lined and balanced. There are Carrillo conrods in the bike. There are high pressure pistons in the bike. The valves have been enlarged. There's an Öhlins rear shock in the bike. Now I have to think. So the casings of the engine have been stripped of all the paint and he explained to me when he got the work done, the people who took the engine apart, said, well, you know, these engines, the paint always starts flaking off. So maybe it's, if you don't ride in nasty weather, you don't use it every day, maybe it's a good idea to get all the paint stripped off it and leave it in bare aluminium. That's what he did. It still looks really good, the engine, and that's how the engine is. So there's no paint flaking on the casings of the bike. The cylinders are black still, but so I was already very interested when he told me this, because the bike has been, you can see the bike has been taken care of really good. He could show me all the invoices of the work that has been done to the bike. So the lighting of the lightning of the crankshaft, the balancing of the crankshaft, the putting in all the other components like the other con rods, the other pistons. It's a reputable shop that did it. I've checked them out. I've asked some people who are more familiar with bikes who have been modified, and they tell me that shop does really good work. So I was already very tempted. The final thing I did was check the VIN number to be sure it was an actual Superlight, because there has been cases known of people who try to sell you a Super Sport for a Superlight. If the bike is modified correctly, it's not that bad, because basically they're the same bike, but the value of the bike is significantly different if you have a Superlight or a Super Sport. Main reason, Superlights, last time I looked, there were made 3,500 Superlights over 5 years. They all got their own number. They're very limited production. Super Sports, I don't know, they made a few 10,000 of them. They aren't numbered. It's just a bike, one in a whole row of bikes that has been released by Ducati. But it's an actual Superlight. The story checks out perfectly. He's the first owner. The warranty was on his name in '93 when it was first sold. So of course I had already made up my mind before they hit the multistrada. I told my friend also when I was there the Monday, yes, I'm gonna buy it, because it looks, actually, to my opinion, it looks amazing, the bike. There's no paint chips anywhere, just on the bodywork there are no paint chips. On the frame there's a few little paint chips, but nothing bad. Oh yes, what I forgot to mention is there are two other carbs on the bike. There are two K-Hin flat slides on the bike. And there's no more airbox, so there's two open K&N filters. I'll make a video about the bike, of course, so you can see everything. But the most important thing is the story checks out completely. All the original parts, and I actually mean all the original parts, so the original front forks, the original wheels, the original carbs, the air filter box, the dampers of the silencers, the rear suspension, all the original parts are with the bike still, so it's perfectly possible to rebuild it to original spec. The valves are enlarged, so that isn't possible to change, but that's about and the crankshaft is lightened and balanced. No reason why you would want to have an original crankshaft that I can see, but that's the only things you can't put back to as it was when it left the factory. So normally today it's Thursday, Monday, no, it's Friday, sorry. Monday evening I'm gonna pick up the bike. I've arranged to have a van with place, because there's all those, there's the bike itself, all the pieces that's come with it. There's some more extras which I will show you when it's all arrived here. I just need to, because the bike hasn't been ridden that much the last few years. The person who has been selling it has picked up another hobby, so it's been standing still. It's been ridden, but not that much. It could use, just to be on the safe side, I'm gonna change the belts because the belts are more than 2 years old, and I'm quite meticulous about that. I like to be sure that the belts are in good shape. They're not that expensive. I can do it myself. It's not that much work. If you want to, I can do a video about how to change the belts, but if you look on YouTube, there's lots of videos about how to do that job. If I can give you a tip, there's a channel from a guy in New Zealand called Andy's Motorcycle Obsession. He has done a great video about changing the timing belts of it's a super sport, not a super light, but it's the same engine. So if you're interested, if you want to do it yourself, if you need some advice, if you're just passionate about bikes like that and you want to see some more, you want to have some more information, check the video. I'll maybe, if I remember, put a link down in the description. The bike also needs an oil change and an oil filter, of course. It doesn't need an air filter because there's no more air box, so no more air filters. And then I will take it out for a spin, see if there are other things I want to change. The only thing I'm sure, but that's not urgent, is also needs another set of tires because it's I think the tires are, if I'm not mistaken, 4, 5, 6 years old, something like that. They haven't been driven that much, so just to be on the safe side, just for my peace of mind, I want to change the tires on the bike. So what's planned next for me? I'm waiting on the battery for the CBR 600 Streetfighter so I can start the engine up. Once that's done, I can start looking how I'm gonna put the battery in the bike because there's not a lot of room, but I have some ideas. Then I have to do a few last things. Once they are done, I have to check with my friend how we're gonna do to get it painted. The Multistrada 1200 is a big concern for me because that's my daily driver. That was my daily driver. For the moment, the insurance company doesn't want to repair it because it's a bike that's 11 years old. I'm also considering what I'm gonna do with it because I don't think there's structural damage. I don't think there's, well, it's not going to be cheap, but it's not going to be too expensive to fix it, I think. It's just a load of plastics and maybe the subframe of the seat, well actually probably the subframe of the seat. But I have to take it all up, well the dealer where it is now has to take it all apart so we know where we're standing. But even if I repair it, even if we get it repaired, the bike is still 11 years old. It still has quite a lot of kilometers, so maybe it's time to get another bike. I don't know, I'm considering all possible options. On the good side, I want to end on a good note. Monday, so in 3 days time, I'm gonna pick up the Superlight. Normally tomorrow I'm gonna pick up the belts, an oil filter and oil, so everything is ready. So Tuesday I can do the service of the Superlight, and then Wednesday, if the weather is good, because they don't predict all that good weather, but we're gonna see, they have been wrong before with the weather, so we'll see. But normally Wednesday it's gonna be ready to ride it. I hope I can take it out for a ride Wednesday. I hope the weather is good enough. The Superlight, the other Superlight, the yellow Superlight, is sold to my friend. Once I have another bike, I promised him the first thing I would do with a bike is go over there to show it to him, because he's also very curious to see it. I have some pictures. I'll put up a small picture here just to get you interested. I'll make a short video about the Superlight, the yellow Superlight. When it's finished, it's gonna need I think it's still gonna need a set of tires, but that doesn't make any difference. So I'll give you a short overview what we have done, why it took so long. It didn't take that long actually. It just few things took longer than we expected. Few things were out of our hands. I'm also hoping I can make a video of the two bikes together, so maybe we can spot the differences between a Superlight Mark II and a Superlight Mark III, because there's subtle differences. Problem is that the Superlight, the Mark II is a red Superlight. The differences are quite small, and there's not that much originality left on the red Superlight. So maybe it will be difficult. I'll see what I'll do, but anyway, once I know how the situation with the Multistrada is gonna end up, so that's I think in about 10 days, 12 days, I'll know more. For the moment, they're determining what's the value of the bike, so they know what they have to pay me out, what they have to pay me, so I can see what I can do with the money concerning, is it interesting to get it repaired? Is it more interesting to buy another bike? Because the Superlight isn't a daily driver, as far as I'm concerned. I'll show you on the video why it's not a daily driver once it's arrived here. The main reason for me is because it's in a too good a condition and it's a collector's item. It would be hard on the bike to ride it daily, especially in rain, winter. So I definitely need something else for a daily driver. I don't know. My friend has a Super Tenere from Yamaha that he's thinking of selling maybe, but he isn't sure, so maybe that's an option. I've looked at a Multistrada V4, but that's quite expensive. I don't know, maybe that's also an option. I have been looking at the Multistrada 950 because my dealer has one. It's not really it's not my first preference, but maybe it's an option. I don't know, we'll see. It's all depending on the dollars, the money, the euros actually in my case. We'll see. Once I know what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make a video about it, short video, and I hope next week there's gonna be an update on the red Mark II Superlight. Hopefully in about 2 weeks time there's gonna be an update on the Mark III Superlight, the 559, the yellow one, which there's already a video about the story, how we got it, what we did to it. I'm gonna put the link of the story of the 559 here. And hopefully, I don't know, in a few weeks time I'll have the battery for the CBR 600 and we can get that project moving along once more. It's actually just another battery and trying to start it up because all the rest is done. Well, the only thing that's left on that bike to get it functioning, to say it like that, is I'll have to program the digital dashboard so the speedometer is correct, the RPMs are correct, but otherwise I think it should be ready. We'll see when we turn the key, but without the battery we won't see a lot. Thank you very much for watching this actually very long update. I was hoping I could do this in 10-15 minutes. I've been talking a bit too much. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you like it. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you feel like it. There's a lot more coming, as I've explained. Leave a comment. It actually, as far as I understand the YouTube system, those things are all very important to help the channel grow. So please, hope to see you next time, probably next week when I had the red Superlight, and can hopefully show you what a great bike it is. Thanks, bye.